This is Joe with SeductionUnleashed.com, help you release your best with women and beyond. And today we're talking about the 5 deadly mistakes that dudes make that end up costing them their relationship. All right, first things first, not having a destiny or life purpose. Shout out to my guy AMS, he says it, and there really is no way around it, man. If you don't have something else going on, if you don't have some greater destiny, purpose in your life going on other than your girlfriend or some girl, you know what's gonna end up happening? You're gonna move into her, and you know what you're gonna end up doing? You're gonna end up staring at each other all fucking day, just staring at each other until you're just sick of each other. Not just that, but statistically speaking, dudes take the majority of L's when they move in with a girl. With, let's say, like marriage statistics, 70% of divorces are initiated by the female. Yeah, let that shit soak in for a second. That isn't a coincidence. What does that mean? That means most relationships are ending from the female getting sick of the dude. Like, it isn't like it's just the chick going over to file the shit, but they happen to be mutual. Most of the time, the girl is getting sick of the fucking dude. Look, man, your chick is there to be your cheerleader, yo. Your cheerleader while you're on your shit, while you're fucking following your goal in life. Because ultimately, your goal shouldn't be women. Because I'm telling you, that's a shallow fucking goal. You're gonna end up very disappointed if that's just your main thing that you wake up for. Every day you need to be waking up for something. Even if right now your goal is some shit that's just, not even a bigger purpose, macro type of thing. It could just be you losing weight or whatever the case is. There should always be something that takes precedent first in your time, in your schedule. You should have a schedule. You shouldn't be able to just chill with a chick all fucking day. You should have shit to do, man. You gotta be like James Bond to these bitches, man. They have to feel like when they're not around you, you could be doing fucking anything. Killing grizzly bears with your fucking bare hands or slaying a bunch of hoes. It don't matter, man. She needs to feel like you're always on your shit. You're not just here giving away your fucking time, because your time is your most valuable asset as a man, period. By the way, bro, if it's first time here and you're interested in stepping your game up in dating, relationships, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by hitting that subscribe and bell notification button so you can join that Unleashed notification gang, bro, so you don't miss anything. Which brings me to my next point, being scared to walk away, bro. Think about it like this. If you've ever played a sport, a competitive sport, you'll find that if you play scared, that shit is gonna be horrible. You can't hesitate. You have to be, like, you'll notice when you're playing your best, say basketball, when you're in the zone, you're almost not even thinking about it. You're just in that zone, you know what I mean? If you box or if you do a fighting sport, whatever the case is, you're gonna find that you're best when you're having fun, you're in rhythm, you're not necessarily thinking about it. When you're hesitating, when you have that respect, sometimes that shit can backfire because you end up jittering, you end up not doing your game plan. It doesn't even have to be that. It could even be a video game. Like, I play Super Smash Bros. I beat dudes' asses. I haven't played in a while, but like for me, I'm a Fox man from the fucking jump. First game, I love playing one-on-one, and the thing is, when you play one-on-one, the times where you play the best is when you're not playing with a bunch of respect for the person, when you're just doing your thing. You're not there being scared of, of losing. Let me put it like this. You have to play to win. You can't play not to lose, because if you play not to lose, you're just gonna be on the defensive and you're just gonna end up losing fucking anyways. So when it comes down to women, that shit is so true, it's not even funny. Like, if you you'll find that shit out soon. If you be around a woman long term, with women, it's especially true. If you're just there with a woman and you're there like with this idea, this mindset that you'll never walk away, it's gonna be very difficult for you not to end up wanting to blow your fucking brains out, because they're going to inevitably take advantage of that shit. Now, showing the willingness to walk away doesn't necessarily mean in the form of you screaming and yelling that you're gonna leave her, walk away, any of that type of shit. It just has to be you taking yourself away from her. Just doing that and being calm and neutral and unaffected, that shit alone is enough to check most pretty chicks, because they don't have dudes doing that to them, especially pretty chicks. Number 3, this one's kind of unexpected, and it's just your selection of the female, period. If you get into a relationship, or whatever you want to do, a label, whatever you want to call it, if you with a girl long term and she's a toxic ass chick, there's no way around that shit. Even if you got to the point where you were great with women and whatever the case was, being around a toxic ass bitch long term, it's gonna be a headache for anybody. No one's gonna be able to fucking deal with it. The only difference is, since you were in scarcity and you haven't really been around enough chicks enough, you're not gonna be able to tell, and you're just gonna end up being the fucking, you're gonna end up taking a big fall. The mistake is from the jump. Your selection of the woman is a mistake. You can't save a rotten chick. If a chick, think about it, if a chick came from a broken home and all she's ever seen is failure in relationships, how do you seriously, you can't save her, man. Listen to J. Cole. You can't save the bitch. She don't want to be saved. And especially when we're in scarcity with women, we start to delude ourselves. We start to overlook the negative and then start overhyping the positive. I know we've all done this shit, especially if the girl is bad and especially if you're in scarcity. Hell, I've learned this lesson personally. It's horrible because for me, what happened with me was I got to the point in my life where I was like, I'm so good with women, and I was dealing with a lot of shit, like a lot of backlash from like their friends and family calling me a player or whatnot, and I was really young at the time, so I wasn't really aware that they were full of shit or being hypocritical themselves, because if you take a room full of women, they're all gonna play moral, but in reality, if you survey them, probably more than half of them have probably cheated on more than two boys, done all types of shady shit, but they're never gonna let you look through all the fucking skeletons in their closet. So I came with the mindset of just being open as fuck. Like I was like, I'm not gonna judge a chick on her sexuality. I was like Patrice O'Neal, like I'm just gonna pimp it up and like, hell, you a hoe? Fuck it, I love hoes. Like it is what it is. But what ended up happening is over time, the connection is just inevitable not to see. You're delusional if you don't see that hoes are toxic as fuck. It might seem like fun and games, but I've seen shit that I don't even want to say because dudes are not even prepared for it. It's gonna blow your fucking high watching this shit right now. Hoes will lie to a dude on his deathbed and say that they love him while they're out cheating with another man. While the dude's taking his last breath on earth, they can't even bullshit long enough till the dude fucking dies. That's how fucking toxic these bitches are. I'm sorry to use such a horrifying example, but this is real life. This is what it is. It got to a point where it's like, man, even if I'm be a pimp or player, like even the chicks that are just my fuck buddies, it's like I don't want them to be no goofy headed hoes. Like it got to a point where even the chicks that are my fuck buddies, I'm no longer just like gonna play this open role because the connections are obvious. Like I meet chicks, a lot of times the most toxic chicks, guess what? They didn't have a dad in their life. You want me to sit here and play politician and pretend like that shit isn't an obvious fucking connection? The bitch came from brokenness. She broken. Can't fix him, man. Even side chicks, to be in your harem is horrible. After a while, I'm not gonna be all preachy because you almost have to learn what is toxic to even determine the shit in the first place. Because I don't even want to have these toxic people around you, period, dude. It's just a bad time. But you gonna learn, man. 4, boring ass sex, man. It is what it is. If you not, dude, as much as chicks like to say all this romantic shit, oh my god, they could, like, if you ask girls to describe their romantic feelings, they could give you a whole essay that sounds like fucking Shakespeare. But let me put it like this. There was a movie, I think my boy told me about it. It was called 40 Days and 40 Nights, and we talked about it in the podcast. And I think it was about a dude who basically challenged himself to not have sex with chicks for 40 days and for 40 nights. And basically the chicks threw fucking tantrums. They just went crazy. And that's what would really happen in real life. As much as they like to pretend like they're these super emotional creatures, at the end of the day, if you're not having exciting sex with the bitch, she is gonna be a problem. Period. Now you can go out there and read books. I'm not gonna give a whole fucking guide in this step. For me personally, my biggest tool is my voice, because ultimately the same way I could say, if I say some really negative shit, you can feel a really negative emotion. I'm not gonna say it because I don't wanna do that shit, because words actually have a lot of power. So for me, ultimately it comes down to my voice. Like, that's how I can mix it up, because your mind is, if I say cheeseburger and you're hungry, you're gonna feel that shit, okay? Ultimately, long term, people say shit like, you know, you gotta mix it up. You gotta get some toys and you gotta fucking get some chains and whips and do all this type of extra crazy shit. But it's like, dude, that how long are you gonna be doing that shit? You know what I mean? Ultimately, the biggest fucking tool is your mind. That's the shit that's not limited by anything in this physical reality. So you can go out and read some sex books, ultimately. But I would just say one thing is be yourself, because a lot of these books, when you read them, it might not resonate with you. Like that was a big problem for me. I would read shit and it would sound like fucking Fabio, and I'm like, man, you know, it's kind of weird how I sound like this, and then suddenly During dirty talk, I sound like fucking Fabio. That shit doesn't make no fucking sense. After a while, it didn't feel congruent to me. It felt unnatural. So that's just something that I learned. Just make shit your own. You know, don't just copy things. Adjust shit to what you feel comfortable with. Because ultimately, dude, you're not gonna be over here doing all this crazy shit and then it's all for her. No, bitch. If today I want to get off to some big booties, that's what we're getting off to. This isn't just. You gotta get your shit together, man. Girls they get off to, if you're the shit, let me put it like this, if you're the shit, bitches will get off to anything that you think is the shit because it's just an emotional thing. I'm telling you, your mind, sex is not binary. The places you can go, I'm not even gonna go into this video because I can say this shit for another video, but all I'm gonna say is, mix it up, brody. 5, giving it to the mans when she plays the female card. Ultimately, here's what happens with dudes. You know, we get attached to a chick and then we end up moving in with the chick. But when you move in with a chick, women are energy. So it's like when they start drama, when their energy drops and they fucking inevitably abuse you emotionally, verbally, or whatever the case is, we just spaz out. But it just feeds into that shit. The only way to really check them is to take your energy away. But if you're around them all day, it's kind of hard to do that. What ends up happening is she just will pout, and then you'll be pouting, and then y'all both will be pouting in the same fucking area, and usually the man will break because we're too logical. We can't just be here all day miserable. That might be fine for you goofy bitches, but we have too much shit to do. We got a whole civilization to create. So what happens is we end up just falling prey to it. We just end up giving in, and just before you know it, we're like, hey bitch, you want something from the store? Something. You just end up giving in, and it's just a bad thing because it's like a kid throwing a fucking tantrum and then you just give in to the kid. What are you creating? You're creating a monster. A monster that's inevitably gonna rip you out. She's gonna ask for everything, and by the end of it, she's just gonna be like, yeah, I mean, well, now what? And then you're gonna be there on your deathbed with an ain't shit bitch, and your kids are gonna be, you know, they're gonna have a mother that's an ain't shit bitch, and you're gonna be there hating your life. Don't be a statistic, bro. If you enjoyed that dope-ass, incredibly positive video, heartwarming, I would even say, hit that subscribe and bell notification button right there so you can join that Unleash notification game, bro, so you don't miss anything. So with that being said, gentlemen, unleash your best, and remember, until next time, confidence is bred by competence. Peace.